What's good, people? This is Kelby Candy, publisher of Makin It magazine, founder of the membership, and we live at the Kickback, Makin It Studios. We got a special guest, So Candy.
Hello.
You can follow her on the gram at Real So Candy.
Yeah.
We're gonna get that out the way just first and foremost off top, all platforms.
Yeah.
Understands branding.
Very important.
So like I was saying earlier when we was doing your listening session, like you first popped up on my radar, email from TJ. And I was like, okay, cool, checking it out. And it was like, good music. But, there's a lot of people with good music these days. It's like, think people complain about the music industry, but it's like, it's a lot of talent out here. And so much so that I think a lot of the talented people forget that it's more than talent. And so one of the things that really made me say, like, yo, we got to get her in for like a listening session and a meet and greet was seeing you work, seeing your work ethic, seeing how you move around, especially during South by Southwest and your performance. How did you get your start in music?
Man, I feel like I'm just now starting, but I've been in the industry for a very long time. I just got my start from just doing it, honestly. I've always had a passion for music. I've always wanted to be an artist and perform and all those kinds of things. And after the Texans, I was just like, dude, if I can make a professional cheerleading team, I can make music. And it's two totally different things.
Right.
And music is completely harder than, cheering professionally. But I just had like a boost just to want to go do it, And, that's how I started.
Okay, so you were a professional cheerleader?
Yeah, I cheered professionally for the Houston Texans.
Okay, so how does one end up as a professional cheerleader? Like, what did you always cheer in school? Like, how did you get into that?
Yeah, I did always cheer in school. I started off as a gymnast, and then in high school, I got a mental block, so I had to quit gymnastics. We didn't have a lot of money, so we were like paying for gymnastics.
It's expensive.
It's very expensive. Or do you have anybody in gymnastics?
Well, my daughter, we signed her up for gymnastics, and she immediately broke her arm.
Oh, wow.
Like, she went to her first class and broke her arm, not doing anything gymnastic related.
Oh, she
just jumped off of a slide at the park.
No.
I was like, we're not putting you back in gymnastics.
Yeah. No, but I started off as gymnastics, and I got a mental block, so I quit because we couldn't really afford that. And then I went to cheerleading. I cheered in high school, captained my cheerleading team, cheered in college at University of South Alabama, and then cheered professionally for the Texans. And it was an incredible experience, but it was very difficult because in professional cheerleading, it's dancing. You're dancing. You're learning A counts and like pirouettes and like all this crazy dance terminology that I wasn't, I was very ignorant to that world. And I just worked really, really hard, and I made the team, so it was a blessing.
Well, that kind of speaks to like what we're talking about with your work ethic.
Yeah.
And so having like venturing out from gymnastics into cheerleading and then going professionally, having to kind of heavily add dance to your repertoire and having to, I guess, kind of, would you say, play catch up with a lot of people who had already, or? I was definitely playing catch up.
My teammates would laugh at me because they'd say a term at practice, and I'd be like, what is that, y'all? And everybody just like laugh at me, because these women have been dancing since they could walk.
Right.
They've been put in ballet, and they've done pom in college, and like they just know dance. Like they can pick up dances so quick, and it was so difficult for me. Like it was really hard, but I mean.
But you were there.
I was there. I was on the field. I was doing the dances. Like, it was difficult. It was very hard.
That's that melanin power.
Yeah. I mean,
you pick it up easy, like rhythm.
It was just my work ethic, man. I'm like dead ass. I would be in the gym until 4:30 a.m. And I had to get up and do content. I was a fitness influencer, so Fit Like Candy. I had to do content at 6:30. Had to go to work. I had 3 jobs. Like it was just my life back then was like I didn't. It was a lot going on, but I mean.
Okay, so what were these 3 jobs?
I worked for Hooters of America.
Okay.
I worked Cypress Academy. It's
Okay.
a gymnastics facility.
Okay.
I was a women's program director there. And then I was a Houston Texans cheerleader. But
And a fitness influencer.
yeah, so that's pretty
Four
much 4.
jobs.
Yeah, but I would say 3. Because
Okay.
all the 3 I was getting paid. Fitness, I was just getting hella views on social media, but I wasn't really getting paid for it.
You building equity.
Yeah.
In the brand.
Yeah.
And so that's interesting. So you take that, you're doing the fitness influencer, and you're growing your brand. As a cheerleader, you're actually adding, and it's giving you a reason to delve more into dance. And so like how these things that aren't necessarily related to your career in music help prepare you for your career in music to some extent.
My whole life has prepared me for music. And it's crazy because it's like I've always wanted to do it, but I didn't do it until now, and just like working at Hooters. Like, I know this is crazy, but like when you work at Hooters, it's how to make money there. You have to have really good hospitality. You have to know how to treat your guests. You have to know how to network with people. You have to know how to make relationships to get your regulars to keep coming back, And so
I just loved how you said hospitality. We're gonna rewind it right there, So no, but like, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like a lot of people chasing the career in the music industry think that it's like kind of like they don't value their jobs. Like, they feel like the job is keeping them from their career. But it's like so many soft skills that you pick up in all these other places. Like, because this music shit is a job. It's like you don't get paid for the creative fun stuff. You get paid for all the work that goes around it. And so like just hearing more of your background with gymnastics and professional cheering and all of that stuff, like explains more your stage show and your presence on stage when I see you perform.
Yeah.
And so it's like as you're telling me this, it's like all the puzzle pieces coming together.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So with that said, I think I can't really explain that enough to the people who are watching. And I know that you're going to be on tour soon, Florida. You have a Florida tour coming up, or that
We just got off of the Florida tour.
Oh my God. Okay, so tell me about this tour through Florida.
Crazy.
Right.
That was a really big moment for me.
Okay.
Because one, I've never been on tour before, so I got to experience that with an artist that has done a lot of things like that before, Tribeca. And, it was a lot of work, and it was scary for me. I performed on some of the biggest stages I've ever performed on in life. So that was really cool. I mean, it was just a really good experience for me, I'm very appreciative of it. I feel like we promoted our record out in that area, like, really well, I gained a lot of fans from being out there, and I'm just so happy to be, in that position.
Okay, so something new. What was the thing that kind of gave you the most anxiety about tour? Was it a particular show?
Yes.
What was that show?
Freaking Carroll City Park with Freezy. And like JT was headlining.
Okay.
Oh my God. I don't know why I was so scared, but like I was so scared. Like you could ask anybody that was there. I was freaking out. Like I don't even think I realized how big the show was gonna be until we pulled up to and I saw all the police cars and all this, and then TJ and I think T, the tastemaker, they both said something like, "Oh, this is about to be," and I'm like, "No, where were we, Trap?" I went for a run. We went to go check on sound checker. It was way before the show, and
Right.
they told me how big the show was. I was like, "Oh shit!" So I had to get out the fucking black truck and go jog around to try to cure my anxiety. But the whole day I was just, until I got off stage, I wasn't talking to nobody. I didn't want nobody talking to me. I was just, yeah.
Yeah. Now, do you feel like you would still have that same anxiety, or do you feel like now that you've done that you're ready for the next stage of that size?
I don't think that Tallahassee, because Tallahassee was a really big. We opened up for Boss Man D-Lo.
Okay.
And I would say it was probably maybe a little less people than Carroll City Park, but like Boss Man D-Lo wasn't as scary to me. And for Carroll City Park in Miami, I was supposed to do a backflip on stage, and I didn't do it.
Okay.
And so, like, everybody's telling me, oh, why didn't you do your backflip? You should have done your backflip. Freezy comes in, why didn't you do your backflip? And I'm like, shit. So, like, the next stage that was just as big as, like, the Carroll City Park. I mean, I was nervous, but, like, I still did what I had to do. And I did my backflip, too. So,
Okay.
I think every time I get on stage, though, I have anxiety. Like, it's just a part of me. I don't know. I'm just a nervous bitch, I guess.
Okay, so now you spoke about Trap and TJ. How has it been working with Trap and TJ? Like, how did y'all actually link up?
So working with them is incredible. We linked up here in Atlanta. Trap was at an event. I was at an event. Shout out to DJ K-Tone in Colorado because he made me come to this event. And I was performing, and Trap and I, saw each other, exchanged Instagram, and then that was kind of it. We would like hop on each other's lives and stuff. We never really worked together. Then I say like 2 years later, we see each other at another networking event in Atlanta, and finally we link. We listen to some of my music, and we started to work. And we made Taste Like Candy. When we made Taste Like Candy, he sent it off to TJ. TJ was like, oh, I like this, whatever. I get to South by Southwest. He sees me perform, and then we just decide, okay, we need to do this. So
Okay.
yeah.
So that's cool. Like, so y'all meet out at like networking functions around Atlanta, and like 2 years later, you deboing them for beats. Like, you doing something to that?
No. He was being stingy, man. Trap Beckham is stingy. He was not trying to work with me. And I was like, really? Look at him rolling his eyes. He was not trying to work with me. I'm talking about I would get on his live. I would be like, on my phone when the song come on the club. One time for the birthday, bitch. And try to tag him and shit. He did not want to work with me. Anyways.
This is her interview. All this shit getting cut out. This is her narrative. All right, so now that you got a team and reliable people that you can work with, you went out on your first tour, performed on some of the biggest shows that you've had to date. The question is, what's next for Soul Candy?
Working this record, Get Low, featuring Fat Man Scoop. TJ is super excited about it. Trap's super excited about it. I'm super excited about it. Everywhere we go, everybody's super excited about it. So we're definitely working this record, trying to get as many ears on it as possible, and just making our rounds and doing what we have to do, the work, Trap just got booked in Jamaica, so I'm going to be out there. We've got some upcoming shows, some calls. We're going to be at BET. We're going to be in LA. So we're just working the record, working our records, trying to get our brand out there more, and just getting in the studio, doing what we do.
Okay. So for all of the creatives and aspiring industry professionals, like, given where you are right now and where you started off, what is one piece of advice that you would share to someone else that's a little closer to the beginning of their journey?
I knew you were going to ask this question, and I've been waiting for somebody to ask me this question because I had the perfect answer, but I totally forgot my answer.
Well, shout out to Kim. Shout out to Kim and them mixes.
But it's like valuable advice. I don't even, dang, I wish I knew, because there's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on. I'm just say something. There's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on in the industry. But if you really love what you're doing, continue to do what you're doing. Find people, put people around you that genuinely care about you. Like, know that these people really want to see you win. Be okay with constructive criticism. Like, don't take things personal. Don't think you're God. Like, be open to making different things happen. Be open to trying a new sound. Be open to listening to people that have done it before you or just been there and successful over and over again. Like, a lot of people get around people just because they say they can do something for you, but like, there's no proof in the pudding. Like, put yourself around people that actually have a track record. Like, that's important. That's one thing that I learned, that I just my career has been completely different since I got with people that actually have a track record. Like, so yeah.
All right. And where can the people follow you one more time?
You guys can follow me on all social media platforms at Real So Candy.
All right. Appreciate you coming out. Had a wonderful time. Look forward to hearing these records, especially that acapella record.
Ooh.
Listen, I'm the first one. This is some exclusive shit. I kept the files. I'm going to play that shit right now. Appreciate you coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.